Arrest made overnight after a missing Bronx woman was found dead in Yonkers. Our News 12's Natalie Hernandez is at the precinct with the latest on this devastating case that's been rocking our borough. Natalie.
Ellie Jr. Perez Diaz walked out of this precinct just behind me with his head held down and in handcuffs. He's now facing multiple charges, including murder and kidnapping. Take a look at this video from last night. Pamela Alcantara's ex-boyfriend Perez Diaz appeared to be distraught in the backseat of a police car. A heartbreaking turn of events after a search that started earlier this week led investigators to Pamela's body along the Sawmill River Parkway in Yonkers. The 26-year-old had been missing for 4 days before the gruesome discovery was made. Pamela's family tells us she was supposed to attend a church event last Sunday, but never showed up. Something they say was completely out of character. Surveillance video obtained by News 12 shows Pamela entering her Morris Avenue apartment building elevator, but what's most troubling, her family says, she was never seen leaving. Last night, a vigil was held to honor Pamela's memory. Her family says she had a bright future ahead of her and was a woman of faith. They shared a strong message with us at the vigil for anyone who may be in an unsafe relationship.
Raise your voice. Say that you're getting hurt. Talk to anybody that can help you.
Right now, the medical examiner is working to figure out how Pamela died. When Perez Diaz will be back in court is still unknown, but we will keep you updated as we continue to follow this tragic story. From the 46th Precinct, Natalie Hernandez, News 12, the Bronx.
Newark and Essex County officials provided major updates on the shooting this morning. News 12 New Jersey's Sarah Good was there.
Friday night, the fatal shooting took place close to the intersection of Carteret Street and Broadway. 2 officers were hit by gunfire. 26-year-old officer and 5-year veteran Joseph Ascona died.
Our heart is heavy right now. Our agency is hurting. We lost a true hero last night.
The Essex County Prosecutor shared Newark police officers and federal partners were investigating potential illegal gun activity. A part of the intelligence unit, Ascona was part of the team working to capture an individual they believed had a weapon. Ascona didn't even get a chance to step out of the vehicle before he was struck.
This morning, we could make a statement that individuals were, in fact, arrested, who were responsible for this heinous, callous disregard for humanity.
A 14-year-old suspect is being charged with numerous charges, including murder, attempted murder, and possession of illegal weapons. He was hit by gunfire and is being hospitalized and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. 5 individuals are in custody and are being interviewed by the Newark Police Division and Essex County Prosecutor's Office. 1 gun was recovered from the suspects.
The thing to remember primarily is that the officers involved are heroes, the everyday heroes that work the streets of the city of Newark and cities and municipalities like it throughout this county, without this state, within this nation.
Newark Public Safety Director Emmanuel Miranda says a statement will be issued regarding Ascona's funeral and plans for the future to pay him the respect he deserves.
We are standing side by side by the hundreds of police officers here in the city of Newark who are mourning, who are grieving because of this incident.
The injured officer has non-life-threatening injuries and will continue to recover at the hospital. In Newark, I'm Sarah Good, News 12 New Jersey.
Firefighters are working overtime.
Now, they had to face off with 4 fires.
3 of them are out now. The last in West Hampton is largely contained.
Just take a look at what they were up against here. This wall of flames burning along Old Riverhead Road near Gabreski Airport.
And the fire sent columns of smoke billowing into the air. Look at this. Viewers telling us they could see that smoke from as far away as Jones Beach and even Connecticut.
Nearly 80 fire departments raced to help today, and look at this. They got support from the skies. Helicopters raced to douse the flames by dropping buckets of water.
Now, this is where those fires broke out today. Center Moriches, East Moriches, Eastport, and West Hampton. That is where that last fire is still burning.
And we are just learning that a home was among the structures lost.
Brookhaven Town Supervisor Dan Panico providing the update on his Facebook page just a short while ago. Now, the supervisor says one house was destroyed and 2 commercial structures were damaged. Panico says the fire threatened Gabreski Air Base in West Hampton Beach, and he thanks first responders for everything they have done today. Now, with much of the flames contained, the focus now turns to how all of this started.
The county executive, Ed Romaine, he joined us. He says they are looking into every possibility, including whether or not someone set it.
We have had some information that this may have been fire may have been started. We are checking that out. I don't want to lend to any speculation. I want to let the investigation take place and see if, in fact, this was a natural fire that may have taken place, or if this was something more serious and ominous.
I know you don't want to give too much information, but when you say it may have been a fire that was started, you're saying someone may have ignited it?
Yes.
Tonight, the public viewing for the mother of the Notorious B.I.G. is happening right now. And News 12's Daniela Rodriguez joins us from outside of the funeral home in Manhattan. And it's the same one where Biggie Smalls' funeral was held too. Daniela, a symbolic spot for this family.
Amanda, yeah, that's right. This is where Biggie Smalls' funeral was held back in 1997. The anniversary of his death was actually just 2 days ago. You can see here lots of people lining up to say their final goodbyes to Miss Voletta Wallace, who died inside her home at 78 years old just a few weeks ago. People say she birthed an icon, a legend, and someone who changed the music industry forever. Many here remembering her presence at the street naming in Bed-Stuy, where she showed up and interacted with her home community. Others remember how she carried on her son's legacy up until the very moment she passed.
Rest in peace, Voletta. She's really going to be missed. You know what I mean? Show my respects and everything.
Her son always been one of my favorite artists, as you can see. So Biggie will be missed. His mother will be missed. They both together in heaven.
So many people hurting from this loss, but also happy that she is at peace. The viewing will continue into tonight, where people can say their final goodbyes to Miss Voletta Wallace. On the Upper East Side, Daniela Rodriguez, News 12 Brooklyn.
Newburgh School District leaders are apologizing right now after learning about a risque holiday party at the administration building that they say seems to have gone over the line. Here's News 12's Ben Nandy with exclusive details.
This photo from a holiday party held by district administrators in December was just leaked, and it's causing a stir in the Goldback community. Jen Newman, the district's STEM and secondary education director, appears to have just popped out of a gift box wearing negligee as other administrators cheered. The party was held at district headquarters toward the end of a half-school day on the watch of currently suspended Superintendent Jacqueline Manning Campbell. Acting Superintendent Lisa Bwan says in a statement she can't talk publicly about personnel matters, but she does apologize to the community regarding what appears to be conduct beyond the scope of propriety. I also contacted Jen Newman, who declined comments. Some taxpayers and some students say they are troubled by it, though, because it happened at school right toward the end of the school day, during school hours. Senior Jack Zingri wants administrators to know there's a time and place for this kind of thing.
People are paying their taxes, and so this is going to all the teachers and their pay. So I think this type of party should be done somewhere private.
Others, like Deborah Brown, say people should lay off.
I'm not going to tell anybody what they should do. I just think that, for me, when I saw the photo, I think that there are many more important things for us to focus on.
School Board President Christine Bello says she just learned of the party and the photo today. She says the board is going to make sure this does not happen again, even if it has to change some personnel policies. Ben Nandy, News 12.
Meantime, Governor Lamont is pushing back against the Trump administration. Today, he signed a bill sending almost $3 million to immigration and LGBTQ plus groups, as well as Planned Parenthood. News 12 Connecticut's John Craven is talking to those groups in Bridgeport.
Well, critics say this $2.8 million is not a true emergency. But tell that to immigration groups like Siri here in Bridgeport, facing deep cuts from the Trump administration.
It's heartbreaking.
Susan Schnitzer is nervous. She's head of the Connecticut Institute for Refugees and Immigrants, which isn't sure if they'll get any money from Washington.
We were expecting more of what happened the last time this administration was in place, that it would kind of be a slow decline, not really the hatchet job that's happening.
Governor Lamont came here Monday to approve emergency state funding. Nearly $500,000 are going to CIRI, the Connecticut Immigrant and Refugee Coalition, and IRIS, which is shutting down its New Haven office due to funding cuts. LGBTQ groups are getting $1 million, including the Triangle Community Center in Norwalk, plus the Bridgeport and New Haven Pride Centers.
We're seeing the federal government target the most marginalized among us.
Also getting nearly $1 million, Planned Parenthood. Republicans call it a giveaway to Lamont's political allies.
None of these organizations were vetted. None of these people submit their budgets to us, so it's a giveaway.
Planned Parenthood is not a political ally. Planned Parenthood is fighting for women's rights. I think that's a bipartisan issue.
Schnitzer says the money CIRI gets pays for itself.
There's more money going back into the state because people are paying taxes, people are purchasing things and utilizing typically local markets.
Well, just to give you an idea how busy CIRI is, in an average year they take in 5,000 immigrants. In Bridgeport, John Craven, News 12, Connecticut.
Right now, we're learning that dozens of formerly homeless Hudson Valley residents, including veterans, are now facing homelessness yet again, and possible cuts to federal funding are being blamed for this. Our Blaise Gomez explains.
Come, look. You want juice?
How long have you lived here?
Exactly a year this month.
This tiny two-bedroom apartment is Liz Albus's first home in 12 years.
He has lots of different things to help him regulate himself.
The 39-year-old disabled woman lives in Poughkeepsie with her 2-year-old son who has autism. Their $1,800 a month rent is mostly paid through a U.S. Housing and Urban Development grant. That is, until she got this letter on Monday.
Due to uncertainty surrounding federal funding, your rental assistance payments are expected to end as of April 1st.
What made you reach out to me?
Because I'm not in a good place mentally. Ever since I got the letter.
Liz's housing payments are managed by Hudson River Housing. No one was there when we stopped by, but the vice president of the Poughkeepsie nonprofit called me back and said roughly 33 people might lose their homes because a $360,000 HUD grant they got last year may not be renewed. News 12 has learned 3 of those people include formerly homeless veterans. HUD is facing massive layoffs and program cuts under the Trump administration. And while the future seems uncertain for those impacted,
you got it. Don't give up.
Liz, who suffers from mental illness, says it feels hard to take her own advice.
I think about losing this and I'm like, okay, well, my life is over.
Hudson River Housing says they're working to find other financial help if the grant is not renewed. In Poughkeepsie, Blaise Gomez, News 12.
Congressman Pat Ryan tells News 12 that he is outraged about this and has spent the day on the phone with local housing partners to help people impacted by these possible cuts until more can be done.